Hello, welcome to McKinley Design Studio. If you've spent any time looking around my YouTube channel, you will see that I love steampunk as much as I love a cup of frozen Dippin' Dots on a summer's day. I found steampunk in 2009, right before I went to Dragon Con that summer. It was somebody who had done a series of Star Wars characters and the Death Star, and they were so cool. And I was like, what is this? I feel like I've seen this before, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. So when I looked into it, I found that it was this artistic aesthetic called steampunk that kind of romanticizes old technology that did exist and maybe did not exist or could never have existed in Victorian planet Earth. So it's kind of like a retro sci-fi genre of... See, people say like sci-fi and fiction, but I've been real hard pressed to find a story or a movie that really kind of encompasses it. So anyway, I started building stuff. I started off doing my own version of what a Ghostbuster proton pack would have looked like. Kind of named the group the Society for Demon Non-Proliferation. Turned my packs into Aether Stream Disruptors, Psycho-Emotive Slime Emitters. Anyway, and from there I just have continued building things like lamps and different backpacks and guns, and I have a little corner of my shop that's dedicated to steampunk. I have like a jet pack with kind of Wright Brothers wings, and I just love doing this stuff. Anyway, not much has happened in Oklahoma City for a very long time on the steampunk front. So in 2023, I invited some of my friends that are artists to contribute to an art gallery called The Future of Then. And it was pretty fun. So we did it again this year. And I like to have new contributions when I do a gallery show. Like I like to be able to work towards that end, as well as I'll provide an opportunity for my friends that are artists to show their work. And so this year I did some steampunk bugs. The theme was man versus machine. But then I also wanted to have some kind of a machine. And so one day while I was pondering what I could do, I had this idea to make this bubbler. Kind of like a weird scientific instrument. I should have made the little table a lot taller, but I wanted the main feature to be that giant acrylic bulb that you've seen me working through here. Amazon is great, by the way. There's a company that sells these large acrylic domes. They are made for lamps, but it's all watertight. Not so much after I'm done with it. You'll see here in a second. But I ended up not being able to get it fast enough from Amazon, so I went to Home Depot. Home Depot was oddly able to deliver it more quickly than Amazon was. And so I just kind of sketched out the table, and even though I'm a woodworker, for the first time I used my laser engraver and light burn to design and build stuff. So all of the legs and the side rails on this piece were designed in light burn, and then I cut it out of 1/2-inch MDF. I have a monster laser engraver, so it does a pretty good job with that. So yeah, and I think it turned out really neat. I love kind of the aeronautical kind of mid-century airplane construction wheels on these, and then the fact that it's made out of MDF. I painted it and I added some wood elements to it. Underneath, now you see on the front of that, there's like this rail. Oh, hang on, I'll get to that in a second. So once I put it together, I had washers and brass fittings to plug the hole, to which I connected just a $15 Walmart aquarium aerator for the bubbling. And that wasn't good enough. So I had to go back and I had to add Teflon tape. I actually threaded the bottom of this thing, the bottom of this acrylic thing. I very carefully used a step drill to cut the holes, and then I very gently tapped it with the brass fittings themselves. Anyway, so that with the Teflon tape knocked the leaking out, so it's all secure now. So here I'm filling this thing up. I put a lot of water in it. I didn't secure it to the thing because I figured there would be enough pressure pushing down on it that it would be all right, since it's mainly going to be stationary. Then I added a ton of green food coloring to it. Anyway, so behind that mesh, I engraved kind of a gear configuration. I am a real snob when it comes to steampunk, in that I don't like just gluing gears onto crap and calling it steampunk. Steampunk, good grief. I don't mind gluing stuff onto it to make it look steampunk, but just putting gears on it is very upsetting to me. Anyway, so behind that mesh, if you get close enough, then you'll be able to see, and that way you'll know that those gears are there. The little wood rails are just things I bought from Home Depot. And then those little canisters that are on the corner, I wanted the thing not to just be bubbling, but to be bubbling for a reason. Like maybe we're collecting some kind of a gas and turning it into some force of alternative energy. So I needed those little canisters, and then I also needed a kind of a manifold to put on top. And so that's what I came up with. The manifold, I just went into Tinkercad real quick and grabbed some model car engine elements and just kind of glued them in as interfaces. These little canisters, can you see what they are? Does anybody recognize what they're from? They're proton grenades. They're bunker busters from Return of the Jedi, when Han and Leia are trying to take down the Death Star force field on the moon of Endor. So anyway, so I 3D printed a bunch of those and then painted them up. So, you've already seen it, but here's the reveal that I threw up on YouTube just to kind of show it. In addition to the $14 aquarium pump, I have a really inexpensive set of LED lights that are remote control, usable, so I can change the light. The thing is because the water's green, any other light, it just doesn't work. But when you turn the green or the white light on, you can see through the green. Everything else is just the light doesn't come through at all. Anyway, the $14 pump, $60 dome, everything else was spare parts. Like that wooden shelf on the bottom there that looks like it's pine, that was an old shelf for my garage I'd just taken apart. So anyway, I'm going to show you a real quick run through of the future of then. If you're still watching, this is kind of like a bonus. This is what the night looked like. I convert my workshop into this steampunk palace, and it's really fun. We open it up to the public, and we have a pretty doggone good time. So if you're ever in Oklahoma City in the fall, you should check out McKinley Design Studio. We'll be doing it again this next year. I think the theme is going to be from here to there, with the focus on like vehicles and transportation contraptions. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me that you've subscribed to my channel. If you don't, can you take a minute and punch that button? Maybe give this video a like. I'd love to be able to connect with more steampunk artists and bring them out for the gallery and show their work, and just kind of make this something that continues throughout the ages. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.